Last night's dream was played out in an asylum, a psychiatric ward, or whatever you want to call that. Everything was symbolic and metaphoric for something, and a reflection of what I've seen in people since I got back, after being away from their charade for a good long time. In this nut house, I had a room, nothing in it, or sometimes something in it. It's a dream, remember? And there were other rooms, and I apparently had a thick glass window, some kind of a safety glass, rectangular in its shape, and stretched out on the wall to my neighbor. As he was really sick, mentally sick and ugly, I knew I must not look in at him or else I'd become like him. My rescue will come, I thought. I just have to keep strong like those Buddhists, those who were imprisoned for 50 years or something and just kept repeating mantras while getting beaten and used as human slaves in the gulags, hiding their hope and knowing that one day they all would be saved. So I thought in this dream, I came to think about those Buddhists. And in this dream, there was a door that could be opened to my room, all in glass, but yet nobody else's would be open when mine was open. So there was some kind of isolation going on. No interaction between us inmates or whatever we are called. I thought I was privileged and wandered around the halls, these dark halls only lit up by the light from the rooms, and I had to avoid looking into them because you become what you see every day, don't you? And sometimes shouting I released tension, and sometimes I wandered off to the corners, to the dark corners that were not lit up by the light from the rooms, and I thought, well, what if I just leave? Apparently I realized after waking up that everyone got their doors opened up, sometimes one at a time. We were all observed, all analyzed. This was something nobody escaped. It was a one-way stream, and the stream can't change its mind and reverse to the mountain to its depth, like a grown-up cannot go back to the safety of the womb either. And in this scene, these dreamy scenes, my wife showed up and we had a dog. Happiness prevailed. We sat on our couch and had a fun time watching something on a laptop or TV. But I noticed we were directly observed, and I saw a stiff man looking in through the glass door behind, and behind him were more men taking notes or something. And then they vanished in the dim halls. That's what I saw through the glass door. I smiled back at them before they left and waved, but there was no response. In this hellhole, happiness is not what gets one out. Neither is sanity, neither is nothing, as one is stuck until you become like your neighbor, your ugly, sick neighbor. Scenes changed and began to sort of become obsessed with various situations coming and going. And after a while, I saw that the insane guy in the room next to mine went so far out or too deep into his already thick madness, so they had to put him down with medication. He had someone else in the room, and maybe a sister, mother, or a friend, I don't know. I also saw the medication nurse, a man who'd pull your brains out if the doctors gave orders for it. And I knew that when my time came, I couldn't fake it under my tongue or put it up in my sort of... I couldn't hide the pills, you know. They were going to force me. So how to get out of this madness? Then I realized I was visiting someone else's life, and that felt like a relief. Seeing life from the closed-eyed perspective people have who are stuck in the wheel, like a primate chasing something all their life. That chase becomes the goal in itself, as the objective of the initial stage has been forgotten. I realized this was how people live here. In this place I left for some time, they all think they are better than the person next door, next room, the neighbor. And they avoid their fellow humans, and they have this idea that something better for them is waiting just around the corner, that D-Day will arrive and cause a havoc and liberate them. Meanwhile, they do as their neighbors, because the system can't let you have it otherwise, and all they can do is to trick themselves into believing they are doing something else, that their neighbor is mentally sick and ugly and not them. So I realized one has to be under some kind of a toxic influence and really messed up from the pineal gland and beyond to not see this, to be a prisoner of it. The only aspect they have left is to pretend they are better, smarter, and points over their next door human, be that a coworker, family member, or neighbor. This insane asylum I visited in my dream is their reality without any clothes off. This is their anthropomorphic king undressed. That's the reality the system dwellers see but are too imprisoned to accept and talk about. So I was really happy because I did something right in my life. That's why I'm curious and made this soul journey to experience the system dwellers' inner state, in a sense witnessing something that could have been my life, but why? Why would it become my life? You just have to resist, stay put, and love your way in and out.